received such a meaningful sharing from Mr. Zubaya that the field of robotics has the potential to transform the way we care for our pets, but it is crucial that we approach this advancement with utmost consideration for the well-being and happiness of our animal friends. So from the technical perspective, I would like to invite Mr. Zubaya. So do you have any questions or feedback for the team?
Okay, thank you very much. I have already seen lots of presentation. First of all, I have to give the thank you the team SWO. They have a tremendous good job. That pets not should be in case or when we go for our work to take care of them. How we should go ahead, and that's the way. But my first point of view is that in the middle class society, as in US or in UK or in European markets, who goes to home, both male and female, from that most of the case they don't have any child or any other to stay here. So what will be the product cost for end customer, and what's the marketing plan? Is there any thing, all that? Another thing is that when you are talking about the pet care products and they are planning to take it a bite or want to play, then safety is another measurement, because when you put a laser light here and there, it might be destroy my home atmosphere or something else. So it should is it programmable, or is there any plan about this? That's actually my concern. I think we can next go. Best, you guys do a good job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question and also the feedback. Yeah, so our team will note that. Yeah, and for the next one, so as a roboticist and a teacher by heart, so Mr. Vivekanand has helped students build and deploy a number of products which help make lives easier. And as an engineer and also a creator, he focuses on the surroundings and creates solutions for the society. Also for this side is technical perspective. So Mr. Vivekanand, do you have any questions or feedback for the team?
First of all, congratulations, guys, for bringing in such a great presentation, because it was really great to see that such products are being built and you people are actually thinking about the pets, because pets make our lives so much happier. I can feel the pain, because me and my wife a couple of years ago, we tried to have a pet. We just purchased a small, we just bought a small dog. It was a very small dog, actually. We tried, since both of us were working, so we went to office, and when we used to come home, we see that the puppy is sitting there in the corner feeling alone, and at most cases devastated. So we just, after 10 days of having him with us, we just dropped it with my parents living in the village. So it's such a big problem. My two concerns were similar with what Mr. Jubair shared. One is with the usability inside the house, because inside our house we have to place different materials too, and since we have to keep the commercials in check, that's why we're not expecting everybody to have a separate room for the pet, right? So we have to keep various materials inside our house. There may be tables, chairs and all other equipment inside the house, and putting laser here and there. The dog or the cat, they might jump over and they might break a lot of things. Since this will be a battery operated machine, and I'm expecting that this will be something that will be working on AC current, right? So that will be a matter of concern. Direct electricity will be another matter of concern, and third thing is the pricing, for sure, that it should be in my terms, any technology has to be affordable by the masses. That is the only way we can ensure that this is being used in a better manner. Otherwise it becomes luxury for me if it's costly. So cost has to be in check. So yes, these are my feedbacks, and these are my questions too. How will you handle this?
Yeah, so thank you so much. So from Mr. Zubaya and Mr. Vivekanand, we have noted the concerns and also the questions. So now for the Team Smart World team, please share your answers or also all of the opinions with our judges now for the perspective of technical.
Okay, thank you for all the judges that share like the question for us. So firstly, about the cost, I think everyone is concerning about the cost, right? The first thing I want to say is that the cost that we share on the slide here is just the cost for production. Sorry, it's just the cost for development. It's not the cost for each product when we sold in the market. So it will be determined later. That is the first point. And the second point here is that actually we are considering we can considering a different approach to each market. For example, in the market when the people is not ready to buy the whole gym or the whole system to their home, we can locally build. We can build locally the gym system. Basically, it is you can imagine as a gym for human, but it's for pet. The pet owner will bring their pet into the gym daily or weekly, and then the cost will be much lower because it's just people don't have to buy the whole machine. We use basically it is a service, and then actually we are thinking about the first year. In the first year, we will work with some pet shelter or animal shelter to open the gym. So basically, in the first year, we will not planning to show the customer version or the home version of our robot yet, because we know that until we have the mass production or we have the a lot of people order our product, or I mean we need time to reduce the cost, right? So
I have a follow-up query actually. So since this is going to tackle their loneliness problem, right? But you're saying that if I have to bring the pet to the gym, then the pet is going to need me, right? But I'm not at home and this product is being developed for the home itself, right? So it's contradicting with what the solution that you have suggested. Correct me if I'm wrong. The second thing, as well as I understand the product development and building a product, before going manufacturing, we have to determine the cost, that what will be the cost we are going to target or sell it to the market. So I'll recommend you, if you can work on it so that you can determine your target market and you can come up with a proper sales plan, because you have to have that figure in mind, that what will be the actual price. 10-15% up and down will work, but you have to have a basic idea. This is just a recommendation.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for your commendation. And then your first question, I want to answer that that's for the record, our product is not for merely entertaining purpose, like not for just the animal to play when they alone, but for the therapeutic purpose. It means that actually it's for curing purpose. Like for example, you have a child and then the child has some mental disorder, and then you cannot like build a robot to spend time with him, to play with him, but our Erin robot, it's just like a personal doctor. Then that purpose is not for merely animal to play and be happy, but with our theta wave and playing together with the gym, it will help to cure their mental disorder, like cure the depression or the anxiety. So yeah, so it is more important to help their loneliness, not for just like happy temporarily, but for the long-term mental health. Yes.
Got it. Got it.
Thank you.
So I think the problem, the difference about the plan for the dog had to be alone for a long time, and the dog and the owner have to bring the dog to the gym. The difference here is at our first step, we plan to test the product at the gym or the shelter for animal, because in there we have a lot of animal and a lot of dog or cat to test and to bring this product to customer. So later, when we have some conclusion, what is good for the dog, so we will have a plan to make them easy to use for customer to bring some product at home. I think there are some kind of product is good for pet at home, but not owned in our plan now, because we need the time for testing with many kind of dog before we conclude what is good for dog at home. So about the safety, we also have a plan to test with the animal. So we will test with many kind of different dog, and then we will conclude. There's some game I think is suitable if the dog or the pet owner stay near the dog and see the dog. But with some game, I think this can play automatically at home, and the dog can play with it. It should be a simple game, and we have to remove all the risks for the dog. So yes, I hope that my answer has answered your question.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, so perfect. Thank you so much for our judges from the side of a technical perspective with the concerns or the feedback to our team. And yeah, now, so we have our judge, Mr. Prasanth, with academic foundation is in control systems and robotics, along with a blend of technical expertise, innovative thinking, and entrepreneurial spirit in the field of business. So Mr. Prasanth, do you have any questions or feedback for the team?
Yeah, I think I find this super interesting, the whole space. I've been looking at the space for the last year or so, general pet care and pet industry. It's a growing space with millennials and Gen Z. The number of people who are opting for pets over kids is increasing. So pets are very similar to kids in this space. That's what I would call it. Important thing I've seen through the presentation is there's a little bit of disconnect between what the solution is versus what the problem is. That is the problem being pets are lonely at home, solution being let's take them to a gym or something along those lines, instead of targeting a gym at home sort of thing. Again, that would be expensive. That would be a very big product. And that's what the whole conversation before this was. That makes sense. But looking at things from a technical perspective, and given that it is a more crowd-funded platform for this, that this is a crowd-funded thing because it's from a DAO, I believe it's very important to look at rate and speed at which you can deliver your product. And doing long drawn experiments on 5 different things doesn't make sense. And I would always recommend pick one thing and work that out, sell it, and then go to the next thing. Right? I have seen that there were 5 different products that you'll have mentioned. And that feels very disconnected to me. And also, I do see something very interesting in here, that is the theta wave stuff, which again can become a complete product on itself. And I would recommend looking at individual pieces and targeting one thing at a time and not going behind 6 different things and completely using up all the funds, because all of these are huge experiments by themselves. Right? And as a person who thinks more in the lines of trying to build stuff and looking at things, it's at a product and market fit level. I believe doing one at a time and going out into the market as soon as possible is the most important thing.
Yeah, so thank you so much for your feedback. So from the team, do you have anything that you would love to discuss or to share more? Like from the step-by-step, and the recommendation is like focus on the individual piece before we move to another thing. Yeah, so if the team, you would love to share anything, you can share with the judge now.
Okay, yeah, thank you for your feedback. I agree with you about the like move fast and break thing and do the experiment fast, and then okay, have feedback and then move on to next thing, right? yeah, I also feel so, but because like we are so care and so want to provide the best product for the pet, so we want to build a vision for all of us to look at. So we're gonna know that what direction we gonna go for. And about the I know that doing one thing at a time might be a good way, but I think that we can go on in a way that for example, that we build this product for a shelter, and we do this product to help the pet in the shelter to be better. So we can not at the first phase we can think of it as a impactful product or impactful project, and then we pivot into like business aspect later when we know what is good, what is bad for the pet. Yeah, that is what we are thinking. But one more thing I want to share is that we know that our team is all about a pet lover and technical person, and I think that with the DAO spirit, we want everyone like you guys will talk with us and discuss what is the right direction, and we are open to hear from all of you. That is what we want to say. Thank you.
Yeah, so good spirit, right? Yeah, and also thank you so much, Mr. Prasan, for your recommendation. Yeah, and for our next judge, we have Miss Seema, with a touching commitment in saving amazing animals and giving them a chance at living life free and loved, while advocating animal rights as much as possible. Education and awareness is key in change, and also with the hope that technology will accompany their journey. So, Ms. Seema, in the field of industry, do you have any questions or feedback for the team?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Hi. Thank you for putting this together. So I have actually a few questions, and it's either you guys write it down and get back to us later, or if you can answer me now, it would help. First thing is, all three of the judges before me each had very valid points, which are very related to, I think, the overall viability of this product. But my area focuses on the most important, I believe, the most important element when it comes to anything pet related, and that is EQ, the emotional quotient of how a product like this is going to affect the human pet bond. Okay. I understand. It makes sense to me that you are going to create a gym, but dogs are pack animals, and they learn best when they are in a social environment, which means they either learn with other dogs or they learn with other human beings. So there are a couple of things that I feel maybe you might want to consider, but I'm going to go through them because I have a little bit of a list. So just bear with me, okay? First of all, your tagline for your product, I feel, has nothing to do with what you're trying to achieve. My advice to you is to try and stay away from any kind of grammar that would bring up negative feelings or thoughts, like, for example, cage. You don't want to use a word like that when you're trying to pitch an idea for a pet-related product. An example would be maybe do something like add swag to your wag, for example. Like, you know, try to keep it positive, try to keep it upbeat. When it comes to animals, when it comes to pets, we are faced with two very separate communities. One is a pet-loving community, and another is a community that doesn't love animals. So right now you need to figure out a way to target not just the pet-loving community, but those who don't necessarily have pets or want pets, but would be able to see how a product like yours might benefit the community they're in. Okay. Okay, I have one question which I'd like to ask you. So you brought up a section for shelters. Can you explain to me, in the way you see it in your head, how would a product like this, and try to be as descriptive as you can, how would a product like this assist with a shelter?
Yeah, so thank you, Ms. Seema. So for the questions, and also, first of all, it's about the recommendation is, first of all, we will avoid using the negative words. And the next one is for the question, especially right here, is for how this product will assist the shelters. So the team, you guys can discuss or can share right now.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I have a few more questions. You can either write this down and get back to me later, or you can like tell me now if you might. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. They are tough questions, but I've been doing this for a very long time, and there are reasons why I'm asking you these things. And if you're going to invest so much of time and so much of effort in a project, you need to understand how the human element affects the success of your product. Okay. You don't have to answer me now. Just write these questions down if you can. How are you going to help shelters? Okay. Let me see. Okay. I have another question. Actually, it came out of what Prakash was saying. So Prashant was saying, sorry. So yeah. Why would you think it would make more sense for you to create solutions that pair the pet with their human, so that, for example, instead of dropping your pet off at a gym like a babysitter, that you maybe create modules that combine the use of your gym ideas so that you could encourage people to purchase them as a bundle or a pack and teach them how to do it with their dog so that they can take it home and continue to do the training. Because I see a lot of statistics in your presentation, which is great, but the biggest successes come from the human pet bond. So if you intend to create a product that is going to reduce all these things, dogs, yeah, they have theta waves. Theta waves should tell you straight up that dogs are beings that respond to energy, to frequency, to vibration. They know when their partner is not human, and that does affect them negatively in many, many ways. So what I would suggest is that you try and figure out a way to combine your product with the community, because you will not only get the support from pet owners, you will be able to get the support from councils, you'll be able to get support from corporates, you'll be able to get support from a lot of people who will find a value in this becoming part of the community, rather than you separating it as like a luxury activity or something people with money could afford, if you understand what I mean. Yeah, and I'm pretty much done with that by now. Done for the questions of this group by now.
Yeah, amazing question, and also interesting like suggestions as well. Yeah, so yeah, I would like to invite the team.
Okay, yeah, thank you for your feedback, and I want to share with you firstly about how we gonna actually, this is our go-to-market strategy, and there is involving the shelter in here in the very first phase. Okay, just let me share with you this. So at first we will targeting abandoned pet, because those pets are definitely need, because like those pets is physical and mentally have some problem, right? So basically we will go to some shelter and help those abandoned pet to exercise with our product. And then when we will help those pets become better physically and mentally, and I want to promote them at Pet Star, because like you see, when a pet can do a lot of smart things with our product, they can appear very appealing to the community. A lot of people we call pet lover will like and love he or her, and maybe they can donate or they can help us do something. And in here I have an idea, like they can help us train the AI model, for example, like AI like cái gì cái này là gì? Labeling, you know, image labeling. So it is a community group to build a product. And so when a pet is playing with our product, we can help the pet to produce content and basically build a star a kind of like a YouTuber or TikToker pet, something like that. And when the pet, when the community get awareness or involving in our community, helping to build the product, and helping the abandoned pets to get better. So this will affect and like the pet owner will become surprised and really like to try this product out, and then we will they will bring their pet to the gym. And in here actually I am thinking about building a module like multiplayer, like the dog will play with each other. So because like people will bring the pet to the gym, right? So the pet will play with each other. Maybe we can invent some kind of sport or something to have to make to help the dog play with each other, or even human and pet play with each other in a sport. So yeah, we eventually will build the version 2 of the product that basically can be self at home, and even can understand the language of the dog or the pet. The second thing I want to share is about the pet and human bond. So as a dog owner, I really like and I know that I want to build my product to help bond, to help make this bond become stronger. So basically, I think what we mean by behavioral better is that when our product will help the pet become more human friendly, because like for example, when the dog owner newly purchased a dog or newly adopted a dog, he or she will not know how to train the dog, right? For example, basic command like sit down or give me the hand or handshake or throw a bone and bring the bone back, or even stay away from me, like stay away from me. So those basic command, our product can help them help the pet to understand those basic command first. And then we will have some recommendation for the pet owner to involve at some point. Like this is when you need to play directly or like you need to play offline with your pet. Now is the time. And then we will go in and take the pet to the next level. And then we will decide when the pet owner like should involve. So we already have that kind of a plan, but sorry for not putting things clear in our presentation.
Okay, let me put this some other way. Okay, there is something called imprinting. I don't know whether you've heard about it. It is when a puppy or a dog imprints onto a human being. Okay. Yeah. So for example, if you adopt a shelter puppy, you adopt a shelter dog, some dogs will imprint and they onto another human being. It means they literally their energy forms a connection. Now, if you were to have a program that takes a puppy and trains them separately from their owner in the beginning, you are not going to be encouraging an imprinting process, which is my concern. Because I mean, I love the idea, I love what you're doing, but I feel that you have not put in enough attention into the human element of your of your idea. Number one, how does it affect people? Why should they send their pet to this place? Because we all have pets, okay? People have been working for decades. They have left their dog. Some people have very healthy, happy dogs, even though they're at home alone. But society is becoming, I mean, I have to admit, people are spending more money on their animals than on their own children nowadays, you know, which is great. You have things like pet insurance finally coming up. You have a lot of things coming up. But I think in order for, this is me sharing what happens, you know, in Malaysia, for example, for a product like this to become a vital part of everyday life, you need to find a way to appeal to the pet owner. You need to find a community angle, how the product is going to benefit the animal welfare community, for example. you have to find a way for it to be appealing to corporates so that they may want to invest in it for projects. For something like this, if you want to do it, the best way to do it is to get partners that can, maybe I'm saying this from a PR background, I don't know, but for a product like this, it's like if you find a way to get a community involved, you would be able to push it, a little bit better. Like you were saying, your target for the first year was not pet owners, right? So when you market the product, who's your target audience for the first year? Is it going to be investors, or are you going to try to see if you can actually put out a sales and marketing plan? Because it's great. And you know what? The funny thing is your story, the reason you came up with this should actually be the pillar for this project. Because when it comes to anything related to animals, right, the best way to do it is to get pet owners to feel like they need you more than you need them. Okay? So it's like, it'll get to a point where when you are pitching an idea, you're trying to sell a product like this, price is secondary because the benefits outweigh the cost of for the pet owner to do it. But right now, I don't see any reason why I, as a pet owner, would want to spend money on something like this. Because if you're talking about gym, if you're talking about them being alone, it comes down to responsible pet ownership. We create education awareness where we tell pet owners, no matter how busy you are, take 30 minutes out of your day, go for a walk with your dog. That alone is enough for the human and the dog to create a bond that teaches dogs to be better. It decreases their mental stress. It makes them healthier. All the things that you're trying to do, we can get pet owners to do by just paying a little attention. Now, if they can spend half an hour driving the dog to the gym and then driving back home and then driving back again to pick them up, how is that any different from me telling them you can take your dog for a walk for 30 minutes at zero cost and you and your dog will be happier? So the best way for you, right, to figure out how to push this is to push the human-pet partnership. Because if you do it separately with your dogs, then unfortunately, we consider pet owners like that not at all interested in the welfare of their dogs because they're putting it in the hands of somebody else who is not the parent of the animal. But if you want to try and push it from a point where you expect people to spend money on this product, you have to show the benefit not just to the pet, but the benefit to the human also.
Sorry, excuse me, can I have to answer a question? My name is Dr. Ngọc Thanh Pham from Vietnam National University. I have lived in Australia for 10 years and I have raised 2 dogs. So normally when I work, I have to pay $200 for a person to take care of my dog for walking and something like that, $200 for just walking. So the project is have one purpose. It have to improve the quality when you take care of dog. You take the dog outside, and with the more support from equipment or something like that, they can improve the treatment with dog, help the dog better, improve the quality of treatment, improve the time you play with the dog. So another, talk about the community. I will have around the community with old people in Australia, and I see they raise the dogs. They love the dog. And we have a plan in the future for the owner to take care of dog, to go to the center, to use the equipment to improve. But I have discussed to the principal of Vietnam Agriculture University and the Hanoi Medical Hospital. Now they have increasing demand in the hospital for dog, and we need the staff, they need the doctor. So our project can help to reduce the pressures for the hospital. And in the next term, we will improve and develop something to relate to the community. But I have discussed to my team, this could be too big on one project. And we need look at the product first. We need look at the AI detection first, and then we will connect to the Hanoi Medical Hospital and the Agriculture University. In that university, they educate the staff for the pet, and they think that it's too big if put together now, and it should be in the future. Of course, community is very important. The owner, they need to see the dog, how they treat. We know that this is very important. But this should be the next term. You know, we should not combine everything in just one term for first and 2 years. We have to look at the product. We have to look at the AI, and we have to look at the moral community. No, we need to search more advice for the medical staff and the university to build up, develop this model.
So I have a question. So when you are testing the product, when you are testing this product, how are you selecting your focus group?
So excuse me. First of all, I would love to share that from the chat box, we can see that there are some feedback and also suggestions from the judges as well. And because today we also have the time slot for Infinox team. So first of all, one more time, thank you so much for the feedback from our judges. And for this one, please, with our team, you guys can discuss together, work together and share with the judges later with your opinions and so on. Yes, so don't worry about that because we still have more time on this journey accompanying with each other. Okay, so don't worry about that.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I told you it was gonna be a lot of questions.
Yeah. Thank you. This is great.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
good.
I
love the question. I love you so much.
Please don't get me wrong. It is so important what we're doing today.
I see. I love that. Thank you so much.
I want you guys to push it. So so thank you so much for
we already think about this and develop.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, from Cambria, we also really appreciate that. Okay, so thanks a lot for the first team and with the feedback.